channel. Sorry I've been out of action for a couple of days. Anyway, so this video is about His Royal Highness Prince William, Duke of Cambridge. As you may know, he's second in line to the throne. So number one is his father, Prince Charles, is the Prince of Wales. Prince Charles's eldest son is Prince William. Because the Queen was so indisposed, so immobile, Prince Charles and Prince William played a very prominent role in those Platinum Jubilee celebrations, which just ended a few days ago. So during it, His Royal Highness, he delivered an oration about the environment. Now, you think that might be an uncontroversial and apolitical topic because we all inhabit this planet. Nobody wants pollution. Some people are more concerned about it than others, but nobody actually wants it. That the scientific data has been crystal clear for decades that global warming is on the rise, and that's largely consequent upon anthropogenic reasons. We're just emitting more carbon, burning more fossil fuels, and so forth. And indeed, it is harming us, but these could be slowed down or even arrested altogether. Anyway, so we're often told that the monarchy is above politics, but Prince Charles has made these frequent interventions on contentious topics, everything from architecture to the environment to education. The royals should stay out of politics, says Israel Die Gary Vera, genius to the real genius. Well, exactly. So they should butt out because we now have the dignified crown. It's not the personal crown. And so their opinions are no more worthy or no less worthy of consideration than those of the man on the street. And one of the reasons that Her Britannic Majesty is so popular is partly because she keeps stum on most things, and we haven't the foggiest what her opinion is on any number of subjects. So people always, she reminds me of a blank canvas. You can paint anything there you want and imagine that she agrees with you. So keep your opinions to yourself. But people like Prince Charles and increasingly Prince William, they just can't keep their trap shut. And Prince Harry, this is where he and Meghan have gone wrong, have been ever more frequently and stridently and gratingly speaking out with this nauseating moral high tone on highly tendentious topics. Anyway, so Prince William, he delivered this lecture. He said that there's a pressing need to protect and restore our planet. Now, I actually concur with almost every word he said, but some people will completely disagree with it. Now, they may be dead wrong. They may be imbecilic and all the rest of it, just wrong-headed, just malevolent, just don't care about poisoning the planet because they're going to make a fat profit and they won't be around when the solids really hit the whirly thing. But nevertheless, they are his subjects too in the United Kingdom and in the Commonwealth realms. So Prince William observed there had been unimaginable technological developments, as he said it, which had greatly ameliorated standards of living over his grandmother's reign. But he said that the impacts, he said there's this deleterious impact that humans have on our world. That's true, and the planet is ever more fragile. And indeed, ecosystems are brittle, and we've seen the harm that's been wrought, and we've seen how actually the situation can be improved when we've changed our ways somewhat. Trouble is, we're not changing them far enough nor fast enough. Anyway, so we know that they're meant to stay out of politics, and the House of Windsor somehow got the notion that the environment is not a political subject. Well, it very much is, which is why there's a party called the Green Party, which is why Parliament passes laws, so things like the Climate Change Act, which is why they're targets to reduce carbon emissions, why it's the topic of international treaties, which is why these and the people who opposed all these things, there are vested interests in saying, no, let's keep burning fossil fuels, and what are the alternatives? Are we going to use more nuclear energy? We're going to use more renewable energy? We're going to reduce energy? How much? And in what ways? We're going to reduce domestic heating mostly? Or air travel? Or what? Anyway, so the majority agree on something. That doesn't mean the royal family should express that majoritarian view because they're alienating the minority. They're there for everyone, including minorities, including unpopular minorities. And this is why I'm a bit chary about speaking about on racial issues, because racists, the royal family has to be there for them too. It's not just for anti-racists, bad people. Okay. Anyway, so His Royal Highness exhorted common people to make sacrifices to save the planet. Well, lead by example. What sacrifice are you making? I mean, I always thought he was the wise one, and he would be judicious in his remarks and know when to put a sock in it. It was his foolish, hothead younger brother who was always shooting his mouth off. But unfortunately, Prince William is blabbering his mouth off. So, what sacrifices he's having? He's had 3 children for a start, which is about the worst thing he can do for the environment. He's got how many houses? How big are these houses? I mean, does he wear a woolly jumper at home so he doesn't have to have any heating, or what? I very much doubt it. How many cars has he got? Anyway, and then most tellingly, he travelled to that Jubilee party by helicopter, which is terrible for the planet. He could have driven, he could have walked, he could have cycled, he could have ridden a horse. He's got enough horses. Um, they go around by private jets. They go around on these super yachts and things like that. So this is an enormous carbon footprint they're putting out. And you seldom see the same item of clothing twice, which of course is terrible for the planet. All that cotton or wool or whatever to be harvested, that's going to cost. That's going to take up. Petrol's going to be used, or in tractors and so on. And then that's got to be the product. It's got to be brought to a factory. That's more petrol or diesel or whatever's used. That factory is powered by electricity, which is burning coal, gas, oil, usually seldom renewable, and then transported from wherever it is to the United Kingdom to him. So everything you buy is contributing to the problem. Hello there, Michael McGee. Um, so this is the most glaring and nauseating hypocrisy. And we've seen it again and again. Even if the message is right, the messenger is wrong, and they don't practice what they preach. All right. So you lead by example. I don't like hearing this. Do as I say, not as I do. You can afford to make the sacrifices because sometimes it's more expensive to do the right thing. Have they double glazed all their buildings? I don't know. Have they put thermal insulation in all their roofs and walls? I'm not sure. It'd be good if they had. If they had done that, they could at least tell us that, because a lot of people don't have the capital to do this. Remember Prince Harry when he was going around by private jets, when he was going to places which were run by Google? People said that's very bad. And remember, all these internet companies are facilitating cryptocurrencies. And cryptocurrencies are terrible for the environment because all the electricity they waste completely unnecessarily. We could just use real currencies. Anyway, and Prince Charles, when he went to the United States to get his prize of being global environmental citizen, flying to the United States with several staff, that was woeful for the planet. So it just really is sickening. There's this hypocrisy, this like blindness on their behalf. Prince Charles is always zooming around in Aston Martins, have to be upgraded every year. Well, so updated, you just can't have the same old banger. Anyway, so it's shocking. And Prince Charles has got a huge carbon footprint. He owns tens of thousands of hectares of farmland, in which there are lots of cattle, and flatulence, bovine flatulence, is actually contributing a lot to this problem. So Prince William has been talking about this issue quite a lot, and get the World Economic Forum. Well, he shouldn't have travelled there. Your castle is very hard to heat. Well, exactly, it's terribly expensive. All right, so get rid of the castle. Why don't you house refugees in there if you feel so sorry for them? Anyway, so this advocacy for fashionable causes is not harmless, and obviously drags the royal family into the political arena. So these woolly generalities about restoring our planet, taking better care of our world, well, I mean, that might be all right if you left it at that, but then you got into particulars where he doesn't do what he wants us to do. All right. So energy prices are going up. So these to eye-watering levels, and this is going to push some people close to bankruptcy. So the Climate Change Commission in the United Kingdom says that over 60% of our future emissions reductions have to come not from improvements in technology, but by changing behavior, individual choices, i.e., less heating at home, a smaller car or no car, more transport, not flying abroad, buying fewer items, eating less beef. Okay, so these are painful sacrifices that people are going to have to make, and these are going to be not entirely of people's own free will, either banning these things or just pricing them beyond people's reach, controlling it through that mechanism. Anyway, so yes, we can heat our homes more efficiently and have more insulation and so on, but there are other things. We're just going to have to live less well, right? So as well as moving to more eco-friendly measures. So that's the situation we are in. So some difficult choices, some unpopular policies are going to have to be implemented. So the royal family, they simply take it as no more than their due. They can afford whatever they want. And it's really for a member of the royal family to be preaching to us from his palace about the sacrifices we need to make when he doesn't make any himself. So I know we need to do a lot for the environment, but it was just so insensitive. It was so really deaf in a way what he was saying. He needs to improve himself. And where were his advisors? Presume this is vetted by the government, and that's probably his only get out of jail free card. But otherwise, it's unconstitutional. Him straying into the political arena. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.